All right, folks, strap it in and get ready for our last bout of the Bonneville Beatdown. We've had 2 days, 10 bouts of fast-paced derby action. So as we get ready, they go through the gear checks. We'll introduce the two teams for you.
All right, from Coyote Country, the Wheat Whackers, number 100 Glitter Hitter, 101 Poison Ivy, number 13 Phantom, 17 Ultraviolet, at number 18 is Glitz, number 2 is Night Terror, 204 Spark Hill, 33 Jawbreaker, number 6 Punky Bruiser, 757 She'll Be Sassy, number 84 Puppet Master, and number 88 Bubble Basher.
All right, and their home team tonight are your very own Wasatch Assault. We got 101 Bad Cop, 115 Chameleon, number 13 Green Tea, 138 Crimson Slayer, 2014 Circus, 2319 Roller Reina, 26 Roletta, 621 Gretcha Sketch, 722 Loach, 77 One Hit Wonder, 789 Stormy Sea, 84 Chemical X, 919 Feline Feisty, and 95 Joe Don't Do It. Your referees for the night, the ones who've been on their wheels all weekend. For this one, we have Damon Mistress, / You Know I Know You Know, Flyboy, Guinness, Data, Princess Albert, Bionic Envy, Thorn. Cold Gin, Dr. Boom, Van Rulon, Dino, Bionic Envy, D-Rex, Moof, and Parks and Rex, and Buckanabe.
All right, skaters got their lines up.
It's for you, man.
Loach squaring off against She'll Be Sassy. Now, both these teams have had really good defensive games against their opponents, so I've been looking forward to see how each jammer does against these respective walls. A big thank you to all the audience members that are here for this. I know 10 games is a lot of derby over 2 days, but good to see so many people here cheering on these teams. They've just a ton of effort all throughout this tournament. And all coming to this moment right here, our 10th and final game. Actually, we have Poison Ivy, Puppet Master, Ultraviolet, and Night Terror as the starting wall for the Wheat Whackers. We have One Hit Wonder, Joe Don't Do It, Chameleon, and Crimson Slayer for Wasatch. Big collision right out there. Loach smashing into Puppet Master is back up and out. She'll Be Sassy getting a forearm call, so this is going to be a power jam right away. Jam number 1 of our game. Night Terror to beat, and Loach pushes through. That is the first 4 points of the game. Loach coming around for another scoring pass. Nice offense. Skates on through. Night Terror goes down, but Tough as Nails right back up. Definitely been one of the best blockers of this tournament. She'll Be Sassy comes in and slams into the Wasatch tripod. Doesn't check their speed at all, but now is just pushing the whole tripod forward. Meanwhile, Loach coming around again, has racked up 12 points, looking to do some more. Has Night Terror to beat. And Night Terror puts a knot this time.
We had a start pass, and immediately upon the start pass, One hit wonder drags back Night Terror.
Loach has put 16, 20 seconds left. Loach is lead, but decides they want to do the full 2 minutes.
Well, I see Night Terror skating off the track there and just standing there. I'm not sure if they're hurt or not.
Yeah, they took a hard hit a little earlier in this jam, and probably feeling it now.
Okay. We're not unaccustomed to hard hits in Derby.
Right. I mean, good on them. I mean, they took it, got up, and played until they physically felt they could not continue anymore. So, tough player is Night Terror.
All right, it looks out. Glitter Hitters coming out there for the Wheat Whackers, going head-to-head with Gretcha Sketch for the Assault.
Glitter Hitter's a very solid, pushy jammer, so we'll see what she does against the Wasatch tripod. Gretch comes in with a lot of power, too. One hit wonder, goes to the bench with the forearm, trying to contain Glitter Hitter. Gretcha Sketch gets out first and gets that lead position. Now Gretch scoring run. Hits Bubble Basher hard.
Gets checked out.
Yeah. And that is Jawbreaker bringing him back. There you go. Glitter Hitter finds a way through. Pushes. Gretcha Sketch gets a hard fought 4 points. Looking for the coaches for advice.
And Gretcha Sketch passes Glitter Hitter, so Glitter Hitter a little slow getting in there, but Gretcha Sketch calls it off on the way to the pack.
Yeah, just waiting a little bit. Probably wanted to make sure one hit wonder got clear of that penalty box before calling it off.
Yeah, it's always good to cook off your friends' penalties.
Okay, number 18, Glitz versus Green Tea. This should be a fun matchup. They are both very jukey fast jammers. Wheat Whackers are down a blocker, though. One in the box. Green Tea pushing. Now they're fast, but they can push as well. And finds a way out.
Wasatch Wall not giving an inch there. They're not separating at all. They're keeping a solid wall base.
Yeah, Roller Reina and Chameleon doing a good job holding back Glitz there. Being
and a clean star pass right there.
Yeah, Bad Cop being a very solid brace for him, too.
And Green Tea calls it off before any points can be scored.
Wasatch goes up to an early 31-0 lead in the first 5 minutes.
She'll Be Sassy comes out there for the Wheat Whackers going up against Loach.
Wasatch opts to go right up to the jam line, and Wheat Whackers not far behind. Getting running start, slams into Joe Don't Do It. Joe Don't Do It's hard to move.
Once she's got her feet planted, you're not going to move her. She's been out there pretty long time. Crimson choosing violence again, shoves out Sassy. Sassy tries to go around the outside, runs into Crimson again.
Good moves by Glitz, though, to get through.
Now Loach getting cycled back by 33.
Yeah, Jawbreaker's definitely been one of the top blockers, I think, for the Wheat Whackers. Once again, it is Glitter Hitter and Gretcha Sketch. And we get a team timeout for Blue, the Wheat Whackers. Be 1 minute. They can rest and recuperate. Yeah, really tough losing a player like Night Terror early on.
A solid A-plus blocker out there all the time. Every other jam, it seems like Night Terror is out there. I didn't see Night Terror skate off, though. Maybe she's just working it out in the bench.
Yeah, it looks like they're still in play. They're definitely haven't geared down. Got a little bit of time here. The team timeout ends. We get right back to it. Glitter Hitter and Gretchen Sketch. All right, now this time it's the Wheat Whackers lining up right at that jam line. Some pushing, looking for some advantage. Gretchen Sketch is through and out. Glitter Hitter is a pushy jammer, though. One hit wonder takes him down at turn number 2. And I don't think Glitter Hitter realized that they had to get recycled back, and there's a track cut. So now we have a power jam opportunity for Gretchen Sketch. All right. And outpaces their blockers and gets through. All right, and Gretchen Sketch decides to call that one off, and that's going to create a power start opportunity for Wasatch.
Yeah, that's what Dop wanted. She was calling for it. She said a power start is what we want.
Yeah, and up against Green Tea. It's a different line that we've seen the Weed Whackers bring out.
They're going to float a satellite out there to try to catch Green Tea on the way by, and then Green Tea gets right past them.
Now the Wheat Whackers are pivot number 11 there. Or number 17, rather. It's hard to see sometimes those numbers. Ultraviolet taking control out there, letting their blockers know where they want to go. Now, Crimson Slayer and Joe working together to contain Glitter Hitter.
She's got the star off. It might be looking for the star pass there. The pivots. Oh, and there we go. The pivot's got it and takes off.
Right, so no, that is number 18.
Glitz.
Glitz was the pivot on that. Yeah, sometimes your 11s to 19s can look very similar from a distance.
Well, especially when the jerseys get all bunched up in the back and, you know, they have different fonts out there and all kinds of things can happen.
Oh, yeah.
All right, she'll be Sassy lining up against Loach. Loach takes the inside. Sassy takes the outside. Sassy pushes her teammate forward and says, get me through there. 33 cycles back Loach. Loach is back in. Coming in fast, dodging players, hitting players. Looking to get through there. Still in there is She'll Be Sassy. They're both fighting for lead. It looks like Loach has got lead, and Sassy's out there too. There's nothing separating these two.
Yeah, looks like Bubble Basher thought that they had Loach out, but the ref saw that said it was in. Be a 0-0 jams. Didn't want to. When you're getting chased that close by She'll Be Sassy, you just don't even want to risk a point there.
Oh, they got good wheels under them.
Right, Scratch out there against Glitz. Glitz goes to the inside, Gretsch out to the middle, and Glitz with speed gets lead, but Gretsch is now following.
I think Crimson Slayer thought they had him out as they started cycling back, but Glitz went forward and the referees went forward. That means it's clean. Glitz goes in, calls it off right as Gretsch is approaching.
And see, looks like did manage to get 3, Gretsch did, and 2 for Wasatch still coming out 1 point on top on that jam, but the Wheat Whackers are on the board now.
There we go. They broke the seal. That's all you have to do.
Green Tea and Glitter Hitter, 2 very different jammers. Green Tea tries to go up the middle to the outside and gets by.
Nope, he did step out. I could see it from here.
There we go. Opportunity for the Wheat Whackers to get Glitter Hitter out.
Yeah, it was a pretty obvious step out over there. He was looking for the rope behind his toe stop. Landed on the outside of it, thought he was clear.
Looking for a screen of offense to sweep around. Splitting it up. Roller Reina is there, but not enough to contain Glitter Hitter.
I'm pretty sure this is Roller Reina's first Derby action in a tournament, though.
I believe so, yeah.
We're going to cut her a lot of slack in this as she's pressed into position and still throwing her body out there, not being afraid of anything.
Yeah, we had that. All right, Green Tea is gets back out there and wastes no time. And yeah, there is no lead here, so this is going all the way in. Green Tea stopped.
You got bodies flying.
Yeah. And now a whole lot of people falling down at turn number 2. Jawbreaker is now the new pivot for the Wheat Whackers. Oh, both tried to take that apex at the same time, it seemed, and just crashed into an entire wall's worth of players.
Green Tea up first, though, and he gets going first.
And with nice balance, Jawbreaker stays in, but now Green Tea is scoring. Green Tea, one more to beat, and does.
He's got that little hip-hop giddy-up step that he takes. Not quite an apex jump, but propelling himself forward.
Yeah. See Chameleon out there with a couple good stops, and also acting as pivot. They've been doing a lot of jamming this tournament, but seem to be doing primarily defense so far in this game.
Yeah, the Assault has had to press a number of players into play that are not normally used to taking these positions, but the B team skaters said, yes, I'm ready, let's go, and moved right on up, and next man up. That's a Wasatch Assault mentality.
Yeah, I mean, you know, with your juniors teams, you're always going to lose a few players at the end of every season. That's just how it goes. So bringing in your new players and getting them ready for Derby is always they're safe enough to get out there and play. It's good to have them out there. And it is a neck-and-neck race between Roach and Sassy.
I'll tell you what, Sassy loaded up at the jam line and took off. A lot of clean hits in there, but I'll tell you, there's some Wasatch Assault players that are going to be feeling it tomorrow.
See 3 on the board for Assault, and looks like 1 for the Wheat Whackers. I gotta love watching these jammers, though. No checking speed when they go hit these packs.
No, level 3 roller derby for the juniors means no speed checks on your way in. And that's obvious because they're just throwing their bodies into reckless abandon. So here we go. It is Glitz up against Gretchesketch. They're both probing, trying to break the lines down, and now Glitz is out first.
Right, yeah. Glitz was playing defense for a little while, and I don't think Wasatch could react in time when they suddenly switched and burst forward on the inside line. Gretch is coming around. Let's see if
no points on that one.
Nope.
And 2 points for the Wheat Whackers.
All right. We have a 72-17 game. Getting close to the halfway point of our first half.
Sassy out there again for the Wheat Whackers. Going to go ahead with Crimson for the Wasatch Assault.
More often than not a pivot, Crimson Slayer, but if you're a pivot, that means you're a jammer too, so.
You do have to know both positions.
Yep.
Crimson tries to eat the baby move, but Sassy stays on her feet, but Crimson propels themselves forward. Joe don't do it, checks out Sassy, and Sassy cycles back in. They tell Crimson, keep rolling, keep rolling.
Ooh, Bubble Basher.
That was close.
Yeah.
That was close.
A very, very strong blocker colliding up against a very, very strong jammer. About as close as you could get to the immovable object in the unstoppable force right there.
Now Sassy heading off for a penalty. That'll give a power jam to Crimson. Crimson is the lead jammer, so it's her world.
Looking for instructions, calling for her offense, gets it.
Tells her team to push together in the middle, and I'll go into the inside. And that's exactly what happened.
There you go. Heard a whistle there.
Uh-oh.
Loach is going to the box. Was that a back
Nope.
block? It appears.
That's Crimson going to
rather
the...
Crimson. My mistake.
Yep, that'll be no. We'll run the whole length of this jam and have a few seconds at the end with Crimson. Well, it's always good to see them skate off on their own power. Unfortunately, because the jam was called because of their injury, they will have to skate off to the medics box for a few sits.
And you put everything into every jam, into every game. I mean, we're at game number 4 here. And I mean, certainly She'll Sassy has been playing some big games and has put up a lot of points for their team.
Yeah, when you play on the edge like that with your emotions raw and just right out there exposed to everybody, a big hit or anything happens, it hurts. It causes a flame.
Right.
We used to have a referee, Dragon, and I always respected Dragon from the standpoint of before every game, he would always tell the referees, now, remember they're kids, and if a kid gets hit or does something emotional, give them 5 seconds to react. They're going to pull it together, but they need a second or two to react. And that's how Effin got his name, by the way. Oh.
Yeah, both teams taking some time to regroup. It's when you have two teams that definitely want to do as much as possible, as hard as possible, you're definitely gonna feel a little drained, at certain points.
Can't say it enough. 2 days, 10 bouts, away from home, not sleeping in your own bed. It is a tough pull here. All right, so here's my joke for the wheat whackers. Do you know what you call a cougar when they get hearing aids? A deaf leopard. That was funny. It's funnier here because we got a lot of cougars in the South County there.
This is the first time I've seen the Wheat Whackers play. I don't know if this is the first time they've just ever been to the Derby Depot at all.
They have not been to the Derby Depot in my time here, and we've been here. This is our 10th year, so we haven't seen the Wheat Whackers before.
Yeah, I would if they are open to a suggestion. Bring merch. Your logo's awesome, and I want a patch or a pin of it.
Yeah, we really enjoy your merch. Your logo is pretty cool. So, travel with a little bit. Don't have to bring a lot, just a little bit. Or just send the announcers some merch, and we'll wear it proudly.
We are just past the halfway point of our first period here. I know when they get back into it, they're going to go into the same intensity that they've been playing the first half. So getting a break to collect it, bring it all together, and get back out on the track, and we'll see what these teams do. We have some time. Certainly want to thank our sponsors, Canyon Sports Therapy, a new sponsor of Salt Lake Roller Derby and Wasatch Juniors Roller Derby. Thank you for supporting our skaters during this tournament. The Pie Pizzeria has been voted Utah's best pizza. They've also been a frequent and longtime sponsor of ours, providing top quality handmade pizza, salad, subs, and more for over 40 years. So go check them out while you're in town here. Einstein's Bagels very generously donated bagels for this tournament for our volunteers, officials, NSOs, and medics. Thank you very much, Einstein's Bagels. And 187 Killer Pads. A great set of pads. I use them personally, not even because they sponsor us. They're just really good.
All right, folks, we're just taking a couple of minute break, letting everything decompress a little bit. These kids have been at it hard this weekend. We want everybody to dial it down a little bit just to make sure we're all feeling good. These kids are putting a lot out there, and we want to make sure they're all feeling good about it. So the referees have asked me to change the music to my hateful, angry death music. Just kidding.
All right, game is back on. Blitz up front trying to push their way and gets through. This is a power start opportunity for the Wheat Whackers. Now calling for some chaos. Chameleon there with a stop. And that'll give some time for the Wasatch team to recover and gather around Glitz and try to slow him down as Crimson Slayer gets out of the penalty box and charges into the tripod and is through.
It looks like Glitz is your lead jammer. But Crimson got out, and they're going to call it off before Crimson gets back around.
Right.
Oh, 4-0 run. No, that's pretty good.
With your with derby points, as long as your hips are past the blockers, you get that point. So even if they are, it looks like that player is in front of them, as long as their hips were on the other side of them, they get that point. Glitz pulling double duty, back-to-back jams, right back out there against Green Tea.
Now Glitz looks like they're doing more of a blocking style until they get free, but they're helping out. Now they're trying to go, and now they engage. Green Tea is checked out by 1-0-0.
Yes, Glitter Hitter being the pivot now.
And now Green Tea is loose. He doesn't take much space to get wiggled free.
All right, looking to slow down Green Tea. They halt their Glitz joins the pack. And now Glitz pushes forward and through.
Roletta did a good job slowing down Glitz, and then Glitz gets through. Green Tea is through.
Yeah, Glitz kind of doing a little bit of everything here at that jam.
At this point in the weekend, you're a utility player, everybody, because everybody has to do everything. You're pressed into unusual positions, asked to do unusual things, and that's just derby for you.
Calling a team timeout, looking switch out jammers. It almost looked like Blitz was like, okay, I'll do a third, but so I told him to sit down and get their breath.
Yeah, in derby, third time is not the charm.
Wasatch took some early lead, really put themselves ahead with some big jams, but lately the Wheat Whackers have been climbing back up at 21 points now. Glitter hitter out with Loach. Loach will take up the whole track to find a way through. They kind of slalom skater from inside to outside of the edge.
They are a former short track speed skater, so they skate a little bit different. And now Loach separates the pack and moves forward. But gets out. Glitz is out. Or excuse me, Loach is out.
Yeah.
Glitter hitter still trying to get around Line Feisty. Now has their own wall to get around. Now is dropped back into defense, it looks like. And Loach is through.
The Glitter hitter has a tough tripod. It's like Roletta and Feline Feisty.
Joe don't do it.
Yeah.
Joe cycles back. Glitter hitter.
Loach with 8 points now. Keeps on running the clock, scoring more points. Glitter hitter still on their initial, I believe. And Glitter hitter, it's out Loach. It's definitely a good strategy. There is 50 seconds left on the jam clock. Neither jammer has to move.
No, Glitter hitter hit out Loach, and Loach doesn't want to get back in back there. So now they're setting up, and now they're going to jump in. Glitter hitter moves forward. Loach jumps right back in. Loach was pretty content doing the Macarena until they got time.
And we do have a star pass to Bubble Basher, and they race with it and get through. Meanwhile, Loach looking to put up a few more points and may call this one off, and does. And that brings us to the 10-minute mark of our first half. Retch Sketch versus Blitz.
Glitch and Scratch Sketch discussing fashion. Blitz on the outside, Gretsch on the inside. Now they both are lined up in the middle. Phantom goes there, tries to put a big hit on Gretsch. Gretsch shakes it off and moves forward. Bubble Buster putting out there. Oh, and number 84 tried to put a block on Gretsch. Gretsch is too big of a body, and once they're in motion, they're hard to stop. Now Chemical X heading to the blocks.
And pushes their way through for 4 more points. And another star pass. Bubble Basher once again. Playing back-to-back jams. Taking the star. And Gretsch is trying to get those points and does call before Bubble Basher can get past the Wasatch wall.
Yeah, you don't think those skaters can hear it, then they call it off right when they're supposed to.
Shelby Sassy is back out as jammer, so
Good
yeah.
to see them back.
All right, they'll be facing against Green Tea. Green Tea fighting in. Quickly, Sassy is moving, but Green Tea is fast.
Green Tea looks over his shoulder, sees Sassy coming.
Wasatch gonna race up front. Sassy very quick. May have gotten, did get a point on that. And it is Blitz and Loach. Yeah, Loach is a hard skater to contain, so trying to put all their defenders up against Loach right up at the line, but that is difficult.
Loach is able to push it through.
One hit wonder with some good solo blocking to slow down Glitz. Big collision at turn 2. Glitz is back up on their feet though and through.
Oh.
Nice scoring pass going in for Glitz as Loach approaches.
I think Glitz took a gut punch coming through there.
There is a forearm call that's sending Glitz to the box, so that'll give Loach 30 seconds. If they choose to use all 30 seconds, could also call it off and freeze the jammer. All right, and that outside is open. One more to beat, and Loach bounces right off and goes past.
Wasatch pushed that entire team into the center almost and gave Loach an open lane.
All right, trying to set up and get ready. Oh, Phantom stops Loach. Nice job. And that is now Bubble Basher. Looks like they finally got slowed down some of that momentum Loach is building up. And now Glitz is right back out there.
It does look like Glitz wants a star pass,
And
they did.
A Bubble Basher coming in key in a lot of these plays here.
I don't think that stripe's been on straight this entire time for Bubble Basher. Five and a half minutes left.
Oh, able to push them out is Rollerena and can't see maybe Chameleon there. Yes, Chameleon. Rollerena and Chameleon working together to keep Bubble Basher from scoring more points. All right, and we are going to have an official timeout here. We're going to make sure all the points are tallied and accounted for. I mean, they're working hard enough for them, so they earn them.
I can't say it enough. That's one of those things I appreciate the most about the referees is that they're always making sure that the calls are getting called correctly and all the points are getting counted.
If you are local and of the ages of 6 to 17 and want to join the Wasatch roller team, they do meet up on Sundays at 10 a.m. You can find out more information at wasatchjuniorrollers.org or Facebook or Instagram or contact directly at wasatchjuniorrollers@gmail.com. And if you are a local adult and you're like, man, I wish I could have played this when I was a kid, could I play it now? Yeah, you can. Yeah, tomorrow we are having an info night at 7 p.m. That's Monday night at 7 p.m., March 31st. There's a flyer by the exit door. You can scan that for more information.
And if you can't skate, in 8 weeks, you will be able to skate.
That is true.
And if not, you'll be able to fall really well, at least.
Also true. That's the first thing I learned how to do well, was fall safely, because that's all I could do for about a good 2 weeks.
That's all anybody learns at first, how to fall safely.
Went down the last 5 minutes of this half.
Yeah, it was an official timeout. Now we have an official review. Oh, okay. It looks like black is going to call an official, or blue is going to call an official review.
Some time, get the coaches and captains out there. Green tea and glitter hitter with their coaches, talking with the officials. And there is still time to buy merch and concessions. This has been a really fun tournament to call. I got myself a souvenir Bonneville Beatdown 2025 patch, and they also have some great shirts there. Take that back home with you.
You will see some of these referees with patches like biker gangs all over the world as they travel around and referee.
All right, so review has been discussed, and now the officials will discuss it amongst themselves and come to a decision. So the Wheat Whackers will not retain their official review. Officials letting them know. And so they will lose that official review for the rest of this half, but will get another official review at the top of the next half. She'll be sassy out there with Gretchen Sketch.
Both teams back off to the pivot line. That gives them speed. Gretchen Sketch takes the inside and gets around. Gretchen Sketch is through. Sassy is getting cycled back by Crimson. No, Crimson is going off for a forearm call.
And now with some hard hits does Sassy get through, but also with a leap comes Gretch right behind. He's getting 4 points and opting to continue this run.
Okay, Valkyrie sending in the keep going move. So then Joe don't do it. Cycles back Sassy. Gretch picks up another 4.
Right, Sassy bites in, goes to the outside and gets through. But Gretch is on a roll and decides to cut that off. I believe that would be a total of 12 for, yes, 12 for Gretch and 4 for Sassy.
All right, Green Tea up against Glitz.
All right, Green Tea on the outside and gets it. Glitz trying to find some space and does on the inside to get through. Green Tea now on their scoring pass. Swings fast to the outside and will call that one off as Glitz approaches. Now Loach and Sassy, it's doing some partying before this next jam begins.
Sassy looks to be feeling better.
Loach bursts right in. The couple hard shoulders gets through.
Punky Bruiser and Monster follow her out, but she shakes them off.
All right, following their pivot is Sassy, but not able to get past turn one. All right, make sure the looks like Sassy was hanging back to see if they'd spread out the pack and get a no pack. There were no pack. That means they could not be blocked. But they do find a way to get through. Loach gets the signal to call it off and does.
And just at the end there, Joe Don't Do It heading to the sin bin. I'm not sure if Princess is trying to fly or not.
Yeah, each team has a blocker in the penalty box. Gretsch, very quick. Back around. Glitz, also very quick.
Gretsch on the outside, Glitz on the inside. Gretsch gets through there, moves the blue pack forward. Glitz has not been able to move people around yet. Tries to go to the inside. Bad Cop hits him out and cycles him back.
Yeah, Bad Cop, good on keeping their skates in bounds. Otherwise, Glitz could have just jumped right back in. But oh, nice hit by Bubble Basher. Bring back Gretsch sketch. Now Glitz gonna play blocking duty and then immediately switch to jamming duty. And a hit out by Glitz will recycle Gretsch. So now the both jammers battling each other here at turn number one. Nice move on the inside by Glitz.
A dangerous game to play, but Glitz clearly had a plan. There we go, and they want to call it before the damage is done.
We're probably at our last jam of the half here. Bring out She'll Be Sassy for one more against Green Tea.
They do seem to be cycling their jammers very fast.
Yes, yeah. All right, Wheat Whackers still all pumped up and ready to go. I mean, they're not just going to lay down for anybody. So.
No. Sassy thought they were out, but then Crimson Slayer went through there and cleaned that up. Runs into Roletta. Roletta won't give an inch. They got to go to the outside. Now they're free. They get past Stormy C. Back around is Green Tea. Green Tea's digging. He's looking at the jammer. He's going to call it off, and there's not enough time to get another one in unless somebody calls a timeout.
No, and we are at that intermission.
There we go.
Now, score stands at 164 Wasatch Assault to Wheat Whackers 33.
So we'll take a short 15-minute intermission and be back here to finish off this evening.
Yeah, team's waiting for that rolling whistle, and they hear it and now can relax for the shortest 15 minutes of all time.
Can I get Damon Mistress and Bionic Envy? Damon Mistress and Bionic Envy. They're getting them. Just stand right here. Hi, everyone. Excuse me, friends. Can I get your attention real quick? We have an important announcement to make. So, without our officials, we couldn't enjoy this wonderful game. But we have two really big milestones that we would like to honor and celebrate. The first one right here, we have Bionic Envy. Bionic Envy hit her, yes, thank you. She hit her 100th game in Game 7. Woo! It's supposed to be a thumbs up. Okay? And then the next one we have is our Demon Mistress right here. I know. 400th game in Game 2. Thank you again, officials. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. Oh, that's her.
Our officials, our NSOs, our volunteers all making this happen. Tickets and merch and track repair and being Team Zebra out there on skates, or being an official keeping the score and keeping track of the penalties. Teams are lining up for their gear checks, so we will begin our second half shortly in just a few minutes. Anyone outside, you want to bring them back in right now. They still have a little over 2 minutes to get back in their seat. Second half of our final game of this Bonneville Beatdown 2025. All right, and as we're starting to come to a close for our tournament, I want to give one last thank you, just in case I don't get to it during the second half, to our sponsors. Canyon Sports Therapy, thank you very much for supporting our skaters. The Pie Pizzeria, always providing top quality handmade pizza, salads, and subs for over 40 years. They've been a big supporter of Junior Roller Derby for quite a while. Einstein's Bagels has once again donated bagels for our volunteers, officials, NSOs, and medics. They do it quite often. And finally, and very importantly, 187 Killer Pads.
All righty, we look like we got all our gear checks done. Teams have all cheered a little bit. Merciful and I are up here ready to rock and roll. Okay, that sounded like a coyote cheer.
Yep. Coyote Country, the Wheat Whackers.
Pullman is definitely coyote country. I will say that. There are a lot down there. and not the same type that are in Provo. So here we go, picking up where we left off. 6-2-1, Gretchen Sketchy going head to head with 7-5-7. She'll be sassy. Roletta's out there showing a little sassy.
We do start with a pivot in the box, Crimson Slayer for Wasatch.
Wheat Whackers are whole. Whistle blows and they go both into the middle, now to the inside. Now Gretsch goes to the outside. Gretsch trying to probe the outside, and Sassy is through first. Sassy has got the lead jammer, but Gretsch is coming around. Sassy's going to take a swing at Gretsch. Gretsch doesn't move an inch.
That is fun to watch, two jammers that really want to go hard like that.
Well, and Gretsch trains hard, works hard, puts in a lot of weight room work, and you can see that in the fact that that body did not move an inch.
All right, Blitz out there now in blue against green tea and white. And a very quick jam, so Crimson was still in the box for that one. Didn't get free.
I remember when Green Tea used to be as big as Puppet Master out there. Green Tea has grown up a little bit. Glitz gets out first. Green Tea is trying to collect themselves, gets cycled way back by Glitter Hitter. Glitz is back into the pack, looking to make a line. Runs into
Alien, it seems, yeah.
Yep, Chameleon and One Hit Wonder. One Hit Wonder's not going to move on you.
And we have a forearm call on Glitz, though. So Green Tea can do a lot of damage with a power jam. And he's got his first four of the jam right there. Right, going behind a...
Oh, and there they go. They line up in the locomotive and push through.
Yeah, nice little battering ram maneuver there.
I think they call it the tractor trailer.
Crimson moving Glitter Hitter out of the way. Make sure that lane's clear. Blitz is right back in, so now they got to transition to defense to contain.
Well, and Glitz did establish lead jammer, so nobody can call it off now.
Yeah, we got 45 seconds left, and for those players, knowing that 2 minutes of jamming is a lot of jamming. And Glitz with the footwork stays up and in.
That toe, those wheels are right up against the rope.
Blitz transitioning to blocking. Oh, Glitter Hitter like a brick wall.
Over the top of Punky. Green Tea collects himself. I think that kind of stunned him a little bit because he went over the top of Punky into the teeth of the defense of the Wheat Whackers. Now he collects himself and moves forward. He doesn't have that big smile on. I think Green Tea must have taken a whack.
Yeah.
She'll be sassy and Loach exchange recipes. And they go. Loach tries the inside. Sassy goes to the middle, then pushes to the inside. Runs into Roller Reyna. Joe don't do it. And Gretchen Sketch. Now trying to move forward, but Gretchen Sketch is out there. Oh, runs her over the top of Gretchen Sketch. That's unusual.
Yeah, early on you had Phantom and Ultraviolet halting Loach right here at the jam line. And that time allowed Sassy to get that lead position.
As they say in football, any given Sunday, anything can happen.
Roletta, the first time with the jam star on in this game.
All right, Roletta, get ready to roll.
Blitz out there. Everyone they're having fun as we get going. Roletta looking for the outside. It is open and goes. But Glitz is quick and jukey as well and is now flying out of the pack. Let us slamming into the wall. Punky Bruiser got right in front and would not let Roletta pass. I got a full track out there, empty penalty box. Got Sassy right back out with a running start as Gretsch powers their way through for a lead. Wheat Whackers getting ready, trying to catch Gretsch. Glitter Hitter's good, but, Gretsch has that speed working for him on their side and is able to shove by for 4 and call it off.
Well, Phantom jumped into the train tracks as the train was coming, and Gretsch had too much speed built up. Phantom took the brunt of that. But Phantom said, oh, no, Phantom, I thought they were staying on. They cycled the whole line.
All right, and we do have Glitz right back out there with Loach. Seems like they were just out there not too long ago, but a couple of very fast-paced jams. They are right back at it. Now this time it is Loach. Jawbreaker with a nice attempt, but not enough to stop Loach.
And then the jammer picks up 2 blockers and says, we're going to stop Loach.
And a little successful. A lot of collision there, but they did halt the momentum. Loach, though, recycled right back in and through with 1 to beat, and does.
Twisting and turning, getting through there.
Yeah, and now the Glitz has decided to turn a full blocker now. Oh, we do have a multiplayer on Jawbreaker. They will be going to the penalty box. Glitz recycled back by Crimson Slayer as Loach continues on a roll. Has put up 8 points in this jam. And opts to call that one off.
She'll be Sassy coming out there for the Wheat Whackers. Going to go head-to-head with Green Tea, number 13, for the assault. Both teams at full strength. The box is no.
Yeah.
Wheat Whacker. There's 1 Wheat Whacker in the bench.
Yeah.
On the box. Oh, wait, but no official timeout.
They're going to do a substitution, perhaps.
Oh, I think they're sending 33 over to the medics box,
Right.
and then they're grabbing somebody off the bench to serve the penalty.
Yeah, Jawbreaker and other blockers been throwing themselves into every game. Called their name plenty of times. Also done some jammer duty as well. All right, Sassy opts for a running start as Green Tea starts right on the line. Quick, oh, nice by Bubble Basher to nudge out Green Tea. And Sassy is up and lead. Oh, there is a forearm call we'll see. I believe that is going to be on Sassy. And yeah, Sassy with the forearm call, so loses lead and has to report to the penalty box. And that gives Green Tea some room.
And the time doesn't start ticking until you're at the box, so the time to argue is when your butt is in the seat.
Right, yeah.
Slowing down and slow rolling to the box is not the way to play that. Nice little bunny hop by Green Tea.
Yeah, The Wheat Whacker defense is it's moving, but Green's moving right along with them, and
They're in a bad position, and if they stay there, Green Tea's known to hop.
bodies go down, but quick up and takes that inside track for 4 more points. Has racked up 12 points so far.
Joe don't do it, and they're jousting with Sassy as Sassy's released. Sassy comes through there, steps through there. Joe clips him. Sassy's out. It's on their initial pass. Green Tea is on their scoring runs.
All right, we have a Feline Feisty reporting to the penalty box.
Oh, but nobody could call it off.
Nice move by Sassy. I don't even think anyone even saw that coming. They just swung to the outside and through.
They call that sleeper speed.
All right. And the rolling whistle ends the little meeting of the teams that they were having here. Although they're still talking to each other a little bit, and we're ready to go. The official clock isn't going to wait for them to decide when they're ready. They got to get ready. Gretsch is through for lead. Glitz is back there being held back and is now going to throw themselves into blocking duty. One hit wonder with some good offense. Glitz kind of takes advantage of that, though. Moves away from the pack and gets through.
I think Gretsch is going to get those points, so we'll see.
Yeah,
Yep, all four.
Yep.
Well, and Glitz took their eyes off a one-hit wonder, so one-hit wonder went over and introduced themselves, making a hole for Gretsch. Loach and Sassy exchanging ideas, thoughts, poetry. Walls tighten up. Weed Whacker's trying to get into position. Now Loach gets through 3 of them. One more to beat. Then gets around.
Through. Yep. Sassy being held back now. Kind of slides back, but then the Wasatch tripod just slides right back with them. But they're nice star pass. Bubble Basher with it. Loach looking perhaps to score some points and call, yes.
Feisty got back-to-back penalties. Must have re-entered the track wrong or something. Oh, Feisty got 2 on that one. I'm going to figure out what the... No, I think there's just 2 total, not 3. So Feisty's cooking off the penalties. We got Glitz out there going head-to-head with Green Tea. They're both on the outside. Now Green Tea moves to the middle. Now they're moving.
There's Glitz
is in
with
the inside.
speed. Yep, there it is. Give a little bit of daylight, and they'll take it. But same can be said with Green Tea. And yeah, when you have 2 quick jammers going head-to-head. Yeah, better to just call that off rather than risk your opponents getting some points before you reach the pack.
Yeah, T was digging in. He was going to try to catch him.
I do like watching Glitz accelerate, though. Just goes like 0 to 100 in no time at all. All right, now Sassy's out there. Roletta is sprinting forward for lead. But yes, Sassy right behind.
Roletta's got that pre-call it position. Wasatch is going to try to get in front.
Getting their point, getting maybe 2 points. We'll see. 1 point, just 1 point awarded. I want to say that was maybe Poison Ivy that got right in the way and just said, nope, not getting 2 points. And we have an official review being asked by Wasatch. And since I have the time to say it again, I do want to thank our sponsors once more, Canyon Sports Therapy, the Pie Pizzeria, Einstein's Bagels, and 187 Killer Pads. Definitely can't do this thing and put on these events without some sponsorship.
No, unfortunately, the world has not recognized roller derby as a pro sport yet. So getting sponsors is a premium. We really like to thank them as they take care of us, especially here locally in Utah, as roller derby is a little frowned on. It's kind of a counterculture thing. But nonetheless, we do a good job with it, and it takes a family of people to get it all done. All right. It looks like White was asking for a forearm call. Referee said no, there was no forearm call. Skate on. And that will mean that Wasatch will lose its remainder of the official review.
Yeah. We still do have their 3 team timeouts. Wheat Whackers with 1 timeout and 1 official review. All right, and we're off once again. Green Tea on the outside, but is in. Great effort by Green Tea. The Wheat Whackers were slamming into him, but he was not stepping out. But Glitz, almost as always, following right behind. And another quick jam. See what got some points. 2 points for Green Tea, 1 point for Glitz.
All right, everything's starting to loosen up. Everybody's having fun with each other as they're enjoying it.
Yeah, it's late in the day with a lot of derby, and they're still all pumped up for this. All right, Loach going in hard against Phantom. Sassy trying to find some room laterally. All right, looks like Phantom actually may have gotten the better of that exchange, but Loach comes in with a whole lot of speed to re-attack that line. And gets that lead. We do have a penalty. This may be, no. Thought perhaps that may have been a power jam. Thought I heard a whistle, but no one is going to the box. Loach being held up by Bubble Basher. Hard to contain all by yourself. And Loach is through. And now here comes Sassy with a hop. I don't think they made it, but great effort. All right, and we are at our halfway point. Just a few seconds away. All I've been doing is calling roller derby games this weekend, and almost getting to an exhaustion point myself. But so these players, after 4 games worth of going after each other, really hard hits and a whole lot of speed, expending a lot of energy out there. We have an official timeout as a group of zebras, or a dazzle of zebras.
Okay, so the referees have come out of their official timeout. I see nobody leaving the track, so maybe just a coffee break.
Yep, Sassy's big
And-
leap did award them 3 points.
And we skate on.
And Gretsch slamming in hard for 4. So Blitz now trying to find a way out of the pack. They'll stop and transition into blocking. Give the Wheat Whackers 5 blockers to work with, but all the same, still hard to stop Gretsch. But in that confusion, Glitz can just find a way to slip on out of the pack. So not a bad strategy. Become a blocker, and then when no one's looking, immediately turn around and run out of the pack.
They probably lose track of you thinking, oh, they're just blocking.
There we go.
Loach and Sassy out there. Both teams at full strength. Whistle blows and they go. Loach goes right out the outside and gets through there. Loach is out of there quick. Sassy still trying to work and trying to get Glitter Hitter to offer some blocking support.
All right, Loach right back in for their scoring run and is pushing that tripod forward and is now through for 4. But Sassy has made it out, made their initial.
Bad Cop heading off for a penalty.
Has some big leads early by Wasatch, really put them ahead in this thing, but the Wheat Whackers have done a really good job of keeping a lot of these jam times pretty short and only letting Wasatch get away with a few points at a time, but those few points do add up and extend that lead.
Wasatch will just chip at you if you give him that. That's the only opportunity. So here we go. Glitz up against Green Tea. We've seen the battle of the G's. Crimson and Glitz battling it out. Crimson holding Glitz at bay. Now Glitz trying to get around Joe. Don't do it. And Joe keeps him held back. And Green Tea is out, but Glitz is a half a track behind.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot. Once one gets free, there's a good chance that the other one's following.
They're trying to run the pack on T. That's not going to work. T is way too quick.
Yeah, Glitz pulled off 2 points on that. Well, looks like, yeah, Green Tea with 3, and Glitz just not giving up, ends up with 2. All right, and we have another official timeout. Sometimes it's good to have that break, and other times you just want that momentum to keep going, and it feels, a little, you have to like take a breath and try to get back into it once the rolling whistle starts up again.
Only about 11 minutes, 11 and a half minutes left in this game. And that'll be the end of the weekend. I'd like to thank everybody for driving out here to Utah. If this is your first time here, welcome. If it's not, welcome back. All right. We come out of the official timeout. Nothing happens. And we got Gretsch up against Sassy. So pretty much where we left off. Gretsch and Sassy jousting a little bit. Now Sassy separates. Gretsch has an inside line and takes it. Phantom thought they were going to get on Gretsch's inside line, but Gretsch was through too quick.
All right, Sassy being held back. Very good Chameleon. Really giving them some trouble, not letting them pass that inside line that they want. It's round for 4. And coming around again for another scoring pass.
Sassy still stuck, hasn't made any movement. Oh, big hit on
Sassy,
Gretsch.
Big hit, yeah. But Gretsch, not going to waste too much time on the ground.
I thought might have knocked the wind out of her, but she gathers together rather quickly. Ten and a half minutes left in this game.
Yeah, Glitz out there with Loach. Loach, very pushy, very fast, one to beat, and does.
Gets around Glitter hitter. That was the last one in there to beat, and here comes Loach.
All right, Glitz going to fall back, play some defense. Just slow down Loach, and now going back into jammer mode. And we do have some penalties. Looks like ultraviolet of the Wheat Whackers heading towards the bench. And now Loach pushing hard, but nice. Glitz pushes out Loach. And so now we have a little bit of a jammer standoff. Loach is right back in.
The Loach has already got 4, and every time she passes you, she gets 4 more. So there you go. Loach is loose. I got 4 more points.
All right, we do have a directional call on One Hit Wonder. Hard slam in. There is Loach hitting hard. 4 more points. That is 12 for Loach. Oh, looks like a couple Wasatch skaters heading to the penalty box. That's got to help out Glitz to get through, and she does. But Loach is right behind. Has put up 16 in this one.
Well, and I only see Bad Cop out there, and Bad Cop's going to get some help from Crimson Slayer. Crimson Slayer takes a swipe at Glitz, sends him out, cycles him back.
Now Loach hard to contain. It's through. That is 20 points now for Loach on this one. 10 more seconds left. Looks like they're going to try for 4 more. They got it in them to do it. In, around, and through, and does it as time runs out.
And
24 points for Loach.
they were able to cook off the penalties to all their players, so we'll start with full lines.
Now we are in the single-digit minutes left in this game, winding down. Joe, don't do it. There, looks like we have another official timeout. Just trying to get all the paperwork in order. Make sure everything reflects what these players have been doing. The one time you put on a dance song, a dance party doesn't break out on the track.
Yeah, I thought one was starting to break out, so I adjusted, and they just stopped. But I'm not going to sweat them. 4 games in, long weekend. Maybe the energy's finally running out. Maybe. Big maybe.
There's still 8 minutes that you got to pour into this. Don't want to waste it, spend it all dancing on toe stops and things.
I am always amazed that they will bounce around. It's like, oh my God. All right, they're skating over. They're talking to skaters. They're talking, no, still just talking to officials. And they're talking to the coaches.
Now
It sounds like a safety concern, something the skaters are doing and the referees want them to stop doing it. Not really a penalty, but it may be a safety issue. And so the referees have pointed out something, brought it to the coach's attention, and said, hey, you need to stop this. And I'm always amazed at how quickly a junior skater can adjust to don't do this anymore.
Oh, we do have Joe Don't Do It out there with the star for this next one, so we'll see if that lasts.
Yeah, that's something her parole officer said to her on the way out the door. He said, whatever you do, Joe, don't do it.
They are up against She'll Be Sassy, so one will be sassy, the other one won't do it. We'll see. All right, high press of speed is Sassy, as well as Joe, and they both hit hard and fall. Neither one with lead yet. Lead still open.
Joe practices by pushing a car, so 3 equal-sized teenagers are not going to slow her down.
Yeah, a successful star pass to
88, Basher,
The Chameleon was right there to stop him.
and Green Tea engaged and drug it as far as he could. Joe Don't Do It sees Apollo, gets a call-off call, and calls it off. 7 minutes.
Rich and Glitz. Jammers for our 20th jab coming up in this half.
Looks like the boxes are clear.
All right, and they're right back into it. Ratch a lot of speed. Puppet Master trying to get there, but can't make it. And now Glitz calling for a blocker, but we'll go at it solo.
And Glitch takes a big swing and misses. But Crimson Slayer goes off for some reason. I'm not sure. Oh, and now Gretsch goes off. So now we've got a power jam. So now Wasatch is going to have to put up the wall of Wasatch and sit. Chameleon doing a good job pushing Glitz out.
Chameleon, Bad Cop, and One Hit Wonder out there, but again, Bubble Basher is right where they need to be to get that star pass. This is going to go for a whole nother minute. Lead has been lost. And that leaves Bubble Basher with one more to beat, and 4 points for Bubble Basher. Now Gretsch is roaring right back out of the box. Leaps over, runs into Crimson.
Almost got too far and went out the outside line.
All right, Pack getting spread out. And looks like we might have a failure to return on Chameleon, yes.
Bubble Basher getting held up by One Hit Wonder.
And now Crimson back with a directional. So Bubble Basher giving Wasatch blockers some trouble here, forcing some penalties. That is 8 points for Basher, as another 8, also 8 for Gretsch. So they are tied up for a watch. And a good leap by Gretsch gets them through for their 12th. But there is Bubble Basher right behind for their 12th.
And Wasatch has got no blockers out there. Wasatch only had one blocker in the end there, and at the end they got one more back. So they're going to be starting with 2 blockers only. Dopp
Nice,
calling a timeout.
Yeah, good job. Bubble Basher taking the jammer on a star pass and then racking up 12 points with it. Like we have a team timeout. That is called by Wasatch. They have timeouts to spare with only 4 minutes and 44 seconds left.
Looks like Crimson might have fouled out as they go send over the catcher to collect Crimson.
Yep. Yeah,
They'll get that stripe back.
I've spent a lot of time in the box this game, so when you're a very aggressive player, it can sometimes just happen to you.
Nope, I thought for a second there they were headed to the medics box, so I thought it was just a player swap, but it looks like no, they're skating Crimson off. All right, Loach up against Glitter Hitter.
All right. Glitter Hitter's got strength and 2 blockers to beat. Let's see what they do. But Chameleon is right there. Alongside, is that Roletta?
That is Roletta out there.
Yep.
And Roletta pulling double duty as plows the road to try to get Loach free. And that gets Roletta into the box. Wasatch can't stay out of the box.
There is Glitter. Penalties hurting Wasatch late.
And now Wasatch getting some help back.
It's regardless of score, point spreads matter when it comes to standings. So as long as the Wheat Whackers are still putting in the effort like they're doing and closing up that gap, that's just a good thing for the entire team right there.
Absolutely. Every point matters in Derby. And you never stop scoring.
Joe Do it back out as jammer alongside Blitz.
Joe backs off her usual 20 feet.
All right.
We hear that prototypical Joe barking that she likes to hear. Gets her motivated.
If it's going to be the barking versus the coyote howl sort of bark that they got going on.
And I couldn't tell you how the Joe Don't Do It barking started. It just started.
Oh, a lot of pushing, but Joe still refuses to be taken out. Stays in and through.
Joe decides where Joe goes.
All right, and there it is. Another successful star pass to Bubble Basher. Joe open inside, takes it, and there it is. Gets through for 4 more. There, the Wheat Whackers blocker saw it was open on that apex, but didn't get there quick enough to stop before Joe went through.
Looks like both teams at full strength. Sketch versus Glitter Hitter. Little high five to say, okay, we're friends until that whistle blows, right? But neither one of us can do this, so let's go. Glitter Hitter up against Sketch. Glitter Hitter on the outside, Gretch on the inside. They switch.
And Phantom.
Phantom's going to go to the sin bin for a forearm. No, Gretch is going to go.
Yeah, all right. Glitter, big chance, big opportunity. It gets recycled, but now can rely on some offense to get through.
I thought that was called on the defensive player. I didn't realize it was called on Gretch, so Gretch is there cooking one off.
Oh, yeah, one-hit wonder with a big hit, and I don't think Glitter Hitter realized that they got knocked out and entered in front of one-hit wonder, so that'll send them to the box.
Now, Sketch is immediately released, but they almost served the entire penalty, so we'll see how they do.
Sassy there, but not able to stop. Right.
Nobody can get lead now.
Phantom fighting with one-hit wonder to get through. Doesn't want to become an easy point for Gretch.
You don't want to joust with one-hit wonder. You will lose that.
Gretch coming around again. It's through as Wasatch holds back because they see the jammer approaching. One-hit wonder like a solid wall against Glitter Hitter. Glitter Hitter, though, bounces off, absorbs it, but is taken out by Green Tea.
Nice team blocking there as Green Tea and one-hit wonder cycled back in front to catch her as she got through. Sketch absorbs a big hit.
Yeah, and I believe that was maybe Sassy, or perhaps trying to, yes, it was Sassy in the pivot stripe that stopped Gretch, but Gretch is not going to stay down for long and going to get right back up and resume with the same sort of speed and strength that they put in before they got put on the ground. Glitter Hitter trying to do all they can against that Wasatch ball. They have had a long, tough tournament. And it looks like it might be taking its toll as we wind down the clock. And that is it, our unofficial score.
No one anxious to call a timeout there to preserve the last jam. They're willing to let it go. So we'll wait for that rolling whistle, but I think we've got an end to a tournament.
Yeah, good on Glitter Hitter to literally going to the last second before just calling it calling it a day. But after 4 games, they've done a great job. Whistle, it is official.
All right, and with that, we'll send these two teams around here with special thanks to the referees for the night. Damon Mistress / you know, I know, you know, Flyboy, Guinness, Data, Princess Albert, Bionic Envy, Thorn, Cold Gin, Dr. Boom, Van Rollon, Dino, Bionic Envy, D-Rex, Moof, Parks and Rec, and Bucks and Nobby.
It looks like the Wheat Whackers are let Wasatch take their victory lap and congratulate them as they come through.
All right, and your Wasatch team for tonight was Bad Cop, Chameleon, Green Tea, Crimson Slayer, Circus, Rollerena, Roletta, Sketch, Loach, One Hit Wonder, Stormy Sea, Chemical X, Feline Feisty, and Joe. Don't do it.
And the Coyote Country Weed Whackers, their coaches were Glitter Pop, Sir Vixen, Dad Joke, and Active. And these skaters, they are Glitter Hitter, Poison Ivy, Phantom, Ultraviolet, Glitz, Night Terror, Sparkle, Sugar Rush, Jawbreaker, Punky Bruiser, Shilby Sassy,